The environmental and vegan movements, although distinct in their origins and approaches, share common goals of promoting sustainability, reducing harm to living beings, and fostering a more conscious and ethical relationship between humanity and the natural world. Both movements are rooted in a desire for positive change, whether for the planet or for the animals that inhabit it, and they intersect in various ways. Over time, both have gained significant attention and have influenced individuals, communities, businesses, and even governments. This essay explores the history, philosophies, and current status of the environmental and vegan movements, as well as the connection between the two. The environmental movement, origins and growth. The environmental movement can be traced back to the mid-20th century when global awareness of the negative impacts of industrialization on the environment became more pronounced. Early environmentalists were concerned with issues such as pollution, deforestation, and the degradation of natural resources. Notable events such as the publication of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring in 1962, which highlighted the dangers of pesticides, and the first Earth Day in 1970, helped galvanize public interest and activism. The movement has since expanded to address a broad range of issues, including climate change, biodiversity loss, soil erosion, water scarcity, and the depletion of natural resources. Organizations like Greenpeace, the Sierra Club, and the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, have worked tirelessly to advocate for stronger environmental protections, often pushing for legislative reforms, corporate accountability, and public education. A major tenet of the environmental movement is the concept of sustainability, ensuring that the needs of the present are met without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This includes the promotion of renewable energy, reducing carbon footprints, conserving water, and shifting to sustainable agricultural practices. At its core, the environmental movement seeks to address the human impact on the planet and advocate for policies that ensure the long-term health of ecosystems and communities. The vegan movement, a growing shift toward ethical consumption. The vegan movement, on the other hand, is primarily concerned with the ethical treatment of animals and the avoidance of animal exploitation. Veganism, as a lifestyle and philosophical stance, advocates for abstaining from the use of animal products, including meat, dairy, eggs, leather, and other materials derived from animals. The roots of veganism can be traced to the early 19th century, but the modern vegan movement began to take shape in the mid-20th century. The term vegan was coined in 1944 by Donald Watson, the founder of the Vegan Society in the United Kingdom, who sought to create a movement that was not only focused on the moral implications of eating animal products, but also on the environmental and health benefits of a plant-based diet. Since then, veganism has become a global movement, with growing numbers of individuals, businesses, and organizations advocating for its adoption. While animal welfare concerns are central to veganism, the movement also addresses broader social, health, and environmental issues. Vegan advocates argue that the production of animal-based food products is a significant contributor to climate change, deforestation, and resource depletion. They highlight the fact that raising animals for food requires vast amounts of water, land, and energy, and that animal agriculture is a leading cause of greenhouse gas emissions. As such, a vegan diet is seen as an effective means of reducing one's environmental impact and promoting global sustainability. Intersection of the environmental and vegan movements. There is a natural intersection between the environmental and vegan movements, as both advocate for reducing harm to the planet and its inhabitants. One of the key reasons for this overlap is the environmental impact of animal agriculture. Studies have shown that the meat and dairy industries are among the largest contributors to global warming, deforestation, water pollution, and species extinction. According to a report by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, animal agriculture accounts for nearly 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions, more than all the cars, planes, and ships combined. As a result, many environmentalists and activists have embraced veganism as a way to combat climate change and reduce humanity's ecological footprint. For example, prominent figures like Paul McCartney and Leonardo DiCaprio have publicly endorsed plant-based diets as a means of promoting environmental sustainability. Organizations such as the environmental group 350.org and the food advocacy group The Food Empowerment Project have also highlighted the role of plant-based diets in reducing environmental harm. Furthermore, the rise of plant-based food alternatives such as Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat has helped to bridge the gap between the environmental and vegan movements. These companies produce meat substitutes that are not only cruelty-free, but also have a much lower environmental impact than traditional meat production. By offering plant-based alternatives that taste and feel like meat, these companies have made veganism more accessible to a wider audience, particularly those who may have been hesitant to adopt the lifestyle due to taste or convenience concerns. The environmental impact of veganism. Adopting a vegan diet can have a profound effect on an individual's environmental footprint. Research consistently shows that plant-based diets require fewer resources and result in lower carbon emissions compared to diets that include meat and dairy. For example, the production of plant-based foods typically uses less water, fewer fossil fuels, and less land than animal agriculture. In addition to the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, veganism also addresses other environmental issues, such as deforestation and biodiversity loss. Large-scale animal farming is a major driver of deforestation, particularly in regions like the Amazon rainforest, where vast areas of land are cleared to make way for livestock grazing and the cultivation of animal feed crops like soy. By reducing demand for animal products, veganism can contribute to less deforestation and the preservation of vital ecosystems. Moreover, the overuse of pesticides and fertilizers in industrial agriculture can cause soil and water contamination, leading to the degradation of ecosystems. A shift to plant-based agriculture, particularly organic farming methods, can reduce the reliance on harmful chemicals and promote soil health. Health and social dimensions of the movements. While both movements are primarily focused on ethical and environmental concerns, they also have significant health and social dimensions. The environmental movement often advocates for sustainable farming practices that promote biodiversity, soil health, and the responsible use of resources, all of which can have positive impacts on human health. A shift toward organic farming, for example, reduces exposure to harmful pesticides and other chemicals, which can be detrimental to both environmental and human health. The vegan movement, on the other hand, is closely associated with personal health. Many individuals choose to adopt a vegan lifestyle for its potential health benefits, such as lower risks of chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. A well-balanced vegan diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and plant-based proteins, is often considered healthier than one that includes animal products. Socially, both movements intersect in their advocacy for social justice. Many environmentalists and vegans are concerned with issues of food security, fair labor practices, and the equitable distribution of resources. The environmental movement seeks to address the disproportionate impact of environmental degradation on marginalized communities, particularly those in developing countries. Likewise, the vegan movement highlights the exploitation of workers in the meatpacking industry and the disproportionate environmental burdens placed on indigenous communities due to industrial agriculture. The future of the environmental and vegan movements. The environmental and vegan movements continue to evolve as global awareness of climate change and animal rights grows. With increasing evidence of the detrimental effects of animal agriculture on the planet, more people are adopting plant-based diets or reducing their consumption of animal products. As plant-based options become more widely available, it is likely that the vegan movement will continue to expand. Furthermore, the environmental movement is expected to become increasingly interconnected with animal rights advocacy. As more research highlights the environmental benefits of veganism, the movement may become a central aspect of broader environmental campaigns, with policymakers and businesses emphasizing plant-based solutions to address climate change. In conclusion, the environmental and vegan movements share a common vision of creating a more sustainable, ethical, and compassionate world. By promoting the reduction of harm to the planet and its inhabitants, these movements are contributing to a global shift toward a more conscious and responsible way of living. As both movements continue to grow, they will undoubtedly play a crucial role in shaping the future of our planet and its diverse ecosystems.